What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sip and Dip with Chelsea, or should I say sickly sip and dip. I have caught that cold that has been going around. 'Tis the season, the weather cools off, and then everybody is spreading germs. So please excuse my voice. I am definitely under the weather right now, but I was so determined to get this video up for you guys. You have been asking me about the 3/4 method, and this is a really great easy way to build an apex for short nails, and I am so excited for y'all to watch this because I really think it's going to be helpful for those of you with flat nails or just someone who wants to add a little bit more strength to their short nails. So both of the colors I'm using today are from the Shameless Nails Witchy Woman collection. This is Broomstick. It is a dark brown with the most beautiful shimmer in it, and this video does not do it justice. And then here is Raven, and this is a pure black, but I'm going for sort of a sultry fall November feels vibe, and I thought these colors would be perfect for today's video because they are full coverage. So I am going to be pouring over, so I've got my cupcake liner today. The pour over method is really great when you're building up layers because it doesn't make your nail too bulky. And then I'll also be using Sparkling Coat liquids. I have my finger rest here from the Nail Prop Shop, and this first swipe is just one line straight down the middle, about 3/4 the way back, and then we're going to pour the powder over top our nail, and that's how fast and easy it is. You can see it is a true black. I'm going to do the same steps on my pinky, and really this is just adding a little bit more strength down that center part of our nail. Make sure you really let that dry before you dust off. Now with my stiff scrub brush, I'm just dusting all of that excess powder off of my nails. So my next layer is going to be a full coverage coat. So I'm just getting this all the way back towards my cuticle area, avoiding my skin all the way over to those sidewalls, and then pouring the powder over top. Then I like to use a toothpick to just clean up around my cuticle area to make sure I don't have anything on my skin. I follow these same steps for my pinky, doing a full coat coverage with my base liquid and then pour the powder over top. So I wanted to take a moment to appreciate how full coverage this is. And y'all, it's not just because it's a black. Truly, all of their dips have a one coat coverage. It's amazing. I am always so shook with their powders because they're so easy to use and beautiful coverage. I could really get away with doing one coat of this black. So now that it's dry, I'm just going to dust everything off, and we're going to do one more layer. So this last layer will also be a full coat dip, and you might be wondering why you would use this method or in what circumstance. So this method's really great for those who are a little bit uncomfortable with using a nail file or a drill to shape their nail into an apex. So you're kind of doing a quick little, if you will, cheat way to get an apex by doing just a little strip down the center of your nail. It helps to build up that natural arch if you have flat nails or you're looking for just a little bit more strength on your short nails without getting too bulky, especially if you're uncomfortable with shaping with a nail file. I am going to go ahead and use their transparent, which truly is transparent. This is Shameless Nails Clear Dip Powder. I'm going to go ahead and finish off these black nails because that other shade does have a lot of shimmer in it, and I really don't want to get any of that shimmer on my black. So this whole 3/4 method really isn't a necessity. It's just an option that you can have. So if you're still comfortable with doing 2 full layers and then a layer of clear, that is perfectly fine. I am in no way, shape, or form saying you should or have to do this. It's just kind of a different way to go about building up a little bit of a arch on your nail if you have short nails. So right here, I'm just really making sure I scrub off all of that clear dip powder so that I don't have any air bubbles or anything left on my black when I activate. So now we can start on Broomstick. So I'm following those same steps, just doing a strip down the center of my nail, pouring the powder over top, and then while I let that dry, I'm gonna go start on those other nails. So another strip down the center, pour the powder over top, and that's how fast and easy it can be. It really is a quicker a little bit less aggressive option for an apex on this length nail, which is why I really enjoyed this method. I went ahead and grabbed a separate scrub brush for this because it is a shimmer, and my other one did have some black on it, so I do like to keep several scrub brushes on hand just in case, so I don't have any colors mix or match. And then I'm going to follow those same steps again. It's going to be that full coat coverage for my second layer, pour the powder over top, and then let it dry. So Shameless Nails dip powder is easily, hands down, top 5 of my favorite dip powders to use because they're just so easy to use, and like I mentioned, a one coat coverage. But I also understand that not every company is going to have that type of coverage, and that's okay. But if you're in this situation where you're using maybe a lighter shade dip powder or something that's not as good a coverage, then I would suggest that first layer that's 3/4 the way back to actually just go ahead and do a clear dip so that you don't see all those layers underneath. So I decided to let that sit on my nail for each of those dips. As you can see, I let it just kind of rest there. I really want to make sure it absorbs all the way into the liquid because there is just so much beautiful shimmer that I don't want to really miss any of it. It's just such a gorgeous dip. I wish I could capture it better on camera, but again, that's why I'm letting it sit here for just a second to absorb into my base. And as you can see, again, I could do just one dip with this color and get away with it because it's so full coverage. I feel like that deserves all the praise because you don't see that very often. So major props to them for that. It doesn't matter if it's a brown or a pink. Truly, all of their colors are this full coverage. It's amazing. So I'm going to do this same step, doing one more full dip, and then we're going to put clear on top. And I'm also working on a video that's coming up very soon, which is going to be my top 3 favorite dip powder liquid companies. And it's very hard to narrow it down to just 3 because I use so many all the time, and it's based on budget and consistency and dry time. There's just so many different variables, and it's a very personal topic, but I think it's also necessary because you guys do ask me that question pretty often. So I am working on that video. It is coming up very, very soon. But again, I love y'all leaving me comments down below with requests and things you want to see. It's super helpful for me, so feel free to do that again on this video. But I hope that this video was also helpful if you have short nails and you're wanting to build an apex. So this last layer is going to be full coat, and we're going to pour the clear dip powder over top. This is just going to protect it when we file, shape, and buff and get that apex really into shape. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I really love the pour over method. If you are someone who's struggling with thicker looking nails and you really just you're trying everything you can, you're getting as much liquid off of your brush as possible, the pour over method can create thinner layers than when you're dipping into the powder. So definitely give it a try if you're struggling with thicker looking nails, but you still want that strength and to build up an arch on your nails. Now that it's dry, I'm just scrubbing off all of that excess clear dip powder. So the next step is solidify. So this is just the activator. I'm going to apply a very generous layer of this to all of the nails and let that dry for 2 minutes so I can file, shape, and buff. So I've got my Macart nail file here. It's very used and abused. It's a 100/180 grit. I'm using the 180 grit side to go around my free edge and also on the top side of my nail. But I wanted to show you guys how very fast and easy it is to get an apex. So basically you want to leave that arch and the strength down the center of your nail. So I really focus on my sidewalls and my cuticle area to make sure I don't have any ledge or any thickness over in that area. So I hold my nail file at an angle and I'm going around my sidewall. You can see I'm holding my skin back and I'm really just filing down that sidewall area so that it's not too thick and there's no ridge, and you can see exactly where I have filed. I'm going to do those same steps around my cuticle area. I have my nail file at a angle so that I'm not filing into my nail, and I'm just making sure that there's no ledge in those on my side and my free edge, and that really gives it a thinner, more natural looking arch while still keeping the strength and not filing into the color. I'm going to continue around this side of my nail, holding my skin back so I can really file down that sidewall area. And then I do like to go over the entire top surface of my nail very gently to just rough it up, make sure I don't have any ridges or lumps or anything sticking up on that top surface of my nail before going in with my buffing block. This is another big reason why I advocate so much about using that final layer as clear dip powder to protect your color, because I know it seems like it's going to add a lot of bulk, but you really do file it down when you go to file, shape, and buff. So now I'm going to use my buffing block and I'm just smoothing out the entire top surface of my nail, and this is going to make it super smooth when you go to do your top coat layer. Now that I'm all done, I'm going to apply one more generous layer of my Solidify and then let that dry for 2 minutes before top coat. So with my Glossy Coat 2.0, I'm going to do a few quick strokes on the nail. So for me, my first layer of top coat is not precise. It's just 2 to 3 quick strokes. And then that second layer, I really make sure to be more detailed. I found this works really well when it comes to not contaminating my top coat brush. So just a few quick strokes for that first layer, let it dry for just about a minute. And then I go in with my second coat, which is more precise and detailed. So I'm going to let this dry for about 5 to 10 minutes before I grab my cuticle oil. So I grabbed Woodside Trail because this manicure kind of reminds me of that with the browns and the black. But this is a really good scent if you're into those earthy masculine smells, which I am, oddly enough. I actually don't care for the really sweet ones, but this one, it's just so good. Even though I can barely smell, I can still smell this one. So I hope today's video kind of answered your questions if you're looking for a really fast and easy way to build up a very subtle apex for a shorter length nail without building too much bulk. So I hope it was helpful. I can't wait to hear if you guys have tried this method or if you plan to. And I wish I could capture this color. It is one of those tougher ones to capture under this ring light, but it is so gorgeous in person. I cannot wait to show you guys some of my upcoming videos that I have planned, so please keep those requests coming. It's so helpful. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.